Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's version of The Locker Room, our weekly podcast where we accentuate light on all of our student athletes here in the Bayou region, both Terrebonne, Lafourche, St. Mary, Assumption Parish. We just hope that these kids do so much, and we want to make sure that you understand what they're doing in the community, because they don't all have to participate in extracurricular activities, but they do. And we appreciate that so much. This doesn't happen if it's not for that guy helping out, Dustin Robichaud, our graphic designer here at Terrebonne General. How are you, my friend?
I'm great, Stan. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. I like that. I like that. This gets it kicked off because it is Jamboree week. And Jamboree week traditionally has been that week on the high school level where you sort of feel like fall is in the air. Even though it's hot, you feel like fall is in the air, and the kids are getting excited. We have lots of jamborees in the area in football and volleyball this week. We do not want to neglect or forget about swimming and cross country. Those two sports are actually happening now as those kids are practicing getting ready. They just don't happen to have a big jamboree. They jump right into action in September after Labor Day, so we wish them well as they start their seasons too. Want to remind everybody, Terrebonne General has always been and continues to be a big sponsor of those student athletes, and we support two big jamborees this week. First, we'll talk about volleyball a little bit. It's the Terrebonne General Volleyball Jamboree happening at South Terrebonne, but hosted by Ellender. Don't get confused. I see you shaking your head over there a little bit, Dustin.
Hey.
Well, we're still in that day and age where we're recovering from Ida.
That's right.
South Terrebonne does have a working spectator gym. Ellender does not. As a matter of fact, Ellender doesn't have any physical building whatsoever except for their portables on campus. That being said, Ellender's volleyball program will use South Terrebonne's facility to host a jamboree that lasts 3 days in volleyball. First, it's going to be freshmen, and that is actually going to be on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, it's going to be JV, which is most of your 10th, 11th graders. And then on Thursday, it's going to be what they call the big one, the varsity jamboree. 6 teams participating in that jamboree. And again, it is hosted by Terrebonne General. You have Ellender, obviously the host school of that event, South Terrebonne. They'll be the home school at that event. Thibodaux High School coming into Terrebonne Parish to play in that one. HL Bourgeois, Houma Christian, and Terrebonne High School. All of the matches start at 5 p.m. each day. So again, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 o'clock start times. It goes basically till about 8 o'clock each night. The only night that it may end a little bit earlier is on Tuesday, because on Tuesday, the freshman squads only have 6 teams participating with 1 match. Then when you get into the Thursday matches, which are the big ones, the varsity ones, you have 2 courts going, and they're going to each get in 2 matches that night. So again, go out and support those volleyball kids as they are getting ready. Lafourche Parish actually has a volleyball jamboree on Thursday also, where it'll feature some of the teams in that area. But Terrebonne General is obviously excited to be a sponsor of the Terrebonne Parish Jamboree. And then it's football, and the football jamborees, for the most part in our area, are on Friday. Terrebonne General, another big sponsor of our Terrebonne Parish schools. They are assisting Terrebonne High School in hosting the Terrebonne General Jamboree presented by HTV. HTV jumped in this and said, we will match whatever Terrebonne General puts up so that we can help the host school in Terrebonne Parish pay for things like security, officials, auxiliary groups, all of those people who have to come out to make a game happen. You guys would be blown away by the cost of security and things like that. I want to take a wild guess, Dustin. Just if you had to guess on a Friday night, there's a football game and you had to get security to come in to work that game. Just a wild guess. And I'm not going to give the exact number, but I'm going to tell you you're way off or you're pretty close.
I'm going to say $1,000.
You're pretty not close. It's a lot higher than that.
Wow.
So that being said, if Terrebonne General doesn't help these schools out, it's tough. It's tough for them to come up with the money. Don't get me wrong, they do get all of the gate, and some of the schools actually get concessions. Some of the concessions are split up different ways. But Terrebonne High School happens to be the host school. Terrebonne General happens to be the naming sponsor, and HTV happens to be the presenting sponsor for the Jamboree that's happening at Tom B. Smith this Friday night. I can give you the rundown. At 6 o'clock, it'll be HL Bourgeois, the home team, taking on ED White. They will play two 15-minute quarters. Then it'll be game 2 featuring South Lafourche against Terrebonne. Obviously, the whole school of the event. That's going to start right around 8 o'clock. 4 really good teams, by the way. I mean, you know, these are all playoff contending teams, so I think it's going to be a really good Jamboree. Thibodaux High School has their Jamboree. That will feature those guys, Thibodaux Tigers, Central Lafourche Trojans, South Terrebonne, and Allender. So that'll be happening at Thibodaux. If you're wondering where your other local schools are going, Vandebilt Catholic is going to be going out to Lafayette to take on Lafayette Christian, so they'll be on the road. Houma Christian's going out to Fisher. Fisher High School is in Lafitte, so Houma Christian traveling out to Lafitte to play in that Jamboree, and CCA traveling to the East Bank to take on, Thomas Jefferson in the East Jefferson Jamboree. So all of our schools are going to be busy. Assumption is going out towards the Ascension area. So again, it's Jamboree week. We hope everybody goes out and supports our kids, whether it be volleyball or football. And again, as swimming and cross country start to happen, we'll give you updated results from their meets and their swim action around the area. One thing we did that was pretty cool, about a week and a half ago, I guess it was, we actually had all of the volleyball coaches in from our area, and they spoke to us about what we might expect from their teams. So again, it's a preview and it's through their mouths. It's not anybody guessing what a team's going to be. It's these coaches telling you what they'll be about this year. So without further ado, I sat down with each of the volleyball coaches in the area, and here's what they had to say about this upcoming season. It is my pleasure to be sitting here with Kiawanna Holley, head volleyball coach over at Terrebonne High School. What's the summer been like? How's it been going into the season? Because it's right around the corner.
Well, the summer has been extremely active. We had a very good group of freshmen that come in from Houma Junior High, and the girls are like just raw out athletes. And so it's been very active. We were able to retain a lot of girls from last year. So they've been doing very well. They've been highly competitive. And it's like it's going to be a very productive season.
You know, everybody sort of describes their team in a way of like, we're experienced, we have a lot of leaders, or we're inexperienced, or we're very young. Talk about your team. If you had to, you said, and we all know kind of there's a cycle coming up for you guys over at Terrebonne. How would you describe the team?
All right, so the team is young. But experienced, only because they're very focused and they're very driven. The girls that we just had coming in. Last year was a tough year for us because it was a rebuilding year. We lost our entire varsity team just about. So it was a lot of growing pains coming with.
It was a cycle that had kind of moved on before that, right?
So they were able to be competitive, but they just wasn't great at closing. This year they have like a new hunger. With them, and you see it in every game, every practice. But they are young, but they're competitive, very competitive.
Very good. If you had to describe a strength, something you think y'all are going to do well this upcoming season. Is it on front line? Is it service? Or is it just leadership?
It's going to be the front line. We have a good group of hitters, right? And it's going to span from any position. It's not just a middle, because we were like heavy reliant on our middles last year, but that's not the case anymore. So we're going to be heavy in every rotation with someone who can put the ball down.
Very good.
Right.
I'm gonna flip the switch a little bit. Is there anything you're worried about right now? Like, this has to get better quick for us.
I will always say serve receive, right? Because that's the one thing you just kind of never could see it coming. You know, you're trying to anticipate something, you may get something else, and it's just the readiness, right? I'm going to always probably go with serve receive because that's their first line of offense. So as long as the girls if they can do what they need to do, then we'll be able to run our offense. So I'm always worried about serve receive because they're going to be the key to running our offense.
Some people say goals, some people it's just these things have to happen for us. So I'll ask you to sort of finish this question or this statement for me. For us to be successful this year, We have to
Finish.
finish. That's it. It sounds like that's the common theme, right?
Yeah.
Very
We have
good.
to finish. Like I said, we didn't have a great record, but it was competitive. You look, we have 3 set games in tournaments, 5 set games in regular matches, but it was just finishing. It's like having that grit and just be able to just finish the game strong. So, yeah.
Thank you so much for the time, and we wish you the best of luck this
All right,
upcoming
thank you.
season. It is my pleasure to be joined by Christina Hopkins, head volleyball coach over at Thibodaux High School.
Hello.
How's the summer been? Have y'all
Summer's been fun. It's been interesting. All the practicing, we've been learning like how to put the team together with us losing major components.
Is it a deal where when you think of, a senior class that was heavy last year that you just and you have a lot of young ones coming in?
Yes, we did lose a heavy senior class. So like the next step up is just the JV team. They have to step up and do what they can on varsity.
What have you been happy with? Like, have you seen something that really is sparking your interest? Is like, we're going to be good at that.
We have all the components. We have heavy hitters. We got good defenders. We have setters. So I'm happy just realizing that we have these components to play a good game, get a good rally, and get some wins.
Do you like your schedule, the way you schedule?
Love the
setup?
schedule. I'm satisfied with the schedule. They have a very intense schedule. Some tournaments that they're going to be in that's going to put them to work. Some teams that are way out the area for us just to get some competitive play.
Is this a process where being in the second year at Thibodaux that you've learned things along the way too?
Yeah, I'm learning how to deal with my stress, trying to deal with that. But I just feel like I'm just taking it as it comes, just learning and going as it comes. So whatever I went through last year, I know how to accomplish it better this year. Very
good. Is there something that you're seeing right now that you're thinking this has to get better?
Our mentality has to get better. Our morality has to get better. They know I'm big on coaching girls, teaching them y'all got to be a good person first, and then everything else is going to come after that. They have the skills, they have the talent, but it's just their mental. They don't know how to get around that mental block and their morality. Like, we just have to do better with that.
Very good. Very good. Finish your statement. For y'all to be successful, whatever Christina Hopkins thinks is success, what has to happen?
That mental. We have to fight the mental part of it. We have to let go of our fears on the court and just be confident in ourselves that we can accomplish anything, knowing that we put our mind to it. Once they believe in themselves, that, man, my coach believes in me, my assistant coaches believe in me, my parents believe in me, my teammates believe in me, so I got to start believing in me also.
Very good. Very good. Best of luck this upcoming season.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I am so pleased to be joined by Lila Bordis, who is now the head coach of Vandebilt Catholic's Lady Terriers in volleyball, a program that has been traditionally very strong. Welcome to the area. No, welcome back to the area again. How's it been so far?
It's going great. I got into the job not knowing what to expect, actually, but it was a little different making the move from Thibodaux, being an Edie White Cardinal, to not being a Terrier. But honestly, people have been so welcoming. The girls are eager to learn. They want to be there. They love the sport of volleyball. So everyone's been welcoming, and I think it's going to be a great year.
Talk about when you got to first start working with the girls. Was that in the spring or was it in the summer?
The summer. So we did tryouts in May. I did that, and then we didn't start really starting practice until July 1st.
This is a question that I hope you pardon the ignorance on it, but I hope that you understand. So you go to Arizona and you're in Georgia and you see volleyball more globally, maybe, because, you played here obviously on the highest level in high school, but you see that. Is that something to take back when you're coaching? Did you learn things there coaching?
Yes, I definitely did. I learned a lot just about not just being what I saw in coaches, because I learned so much from my coaches there. I had Brad Keenan, who was a professional volleyball player, who taught me a lot, and then Beth Van Fleet, who I still call to this day when I need help just with anything, because I'm new to this. But even the girls, just what I learned and the friendships, and that's what I try to tell the girls. It's not just volleyball, it's making friendships that last forever. You can call them back.
Very good. Are you happy with what you've seen so far?
I am.
Are you at a level right now that is sort of to your expectation?
We're getting there. So we have a lot more to work on, but every day they're learning, they're asking questions, they're asking to come in for extra work. So they're wanting to learn and get to there.
Stress. What do you think of your stress?
I'm not stressed as much as excited nerves. Not, I wouldn't say it's stress. There are some days that I get on a little harder than others, but I mean it's sports, and what do you expect? And I think as long as they keep respecting me and being willing to learn and open minded, I think we'll be fine.
What is the one thing that maybe you're thinking, this part of what we do has to get better, whether it's the service game or what you do on the front line or whatever the case may be? You think there's room maybe at that with that more than anything else?
Yes. It doesn't really have to do with the volleyball itself. It has to do with I have 9 seniors, I have a few juniors, I have no sophomores, and I have so many freshmen. So it's to get those seniors and freshmen to bond. And I know the seniors are going to leave and the freshmen are going to move up, but to get them to be closer in their family. If that means like I tell them like go get ice cream with each other, like somebody you don't talk to every day, just go try to get to meet them so we're one. So it's not just seniors on one side and then freshmen on the other. I just want it to be together.
Just something that popped in my head. Did you have the opportunity to make the schedule for this year, or that was already sorted?
A lot of it was already made, but I've been adding some stuff. So yes.
And you're happy with it?
Yes.
For the most part?
I'm so thankful she made that for me though, because I'd be stressed.
Very good. Listen, we wish you the best of luck, and we'll
Thank
be
you so
watching the
much.
Terriers.
Thank you.
Very good. I am happy to be joined by Morgan Authement, head volleyball coach over at HL Bourgeois High School. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. How's the summer and leading up to this upcoming season been going?
This summer looked a little bit different than last summer and the summer before. I'm one of those coaches who like to work every day as much as we can. But we took a lot of breaks. I felt it was important just from feedback from the girls and parents and other coaches that we practice, but we also enjoy ourselves in the process. So we did a lot of team bonding. Not so much. We practiced heavy in June. Whenever we got to July, we took a lot of our breaks and also did more playing and team camps. Every week we were in a team camp, just getting the playing time and experience that we lack because we don't play a lot of travel volleyball. So it was a good opportunity for us to see it on the court, all the things we've been practicing at practice, putting it into gameplay.
Very good. People describe their team in different ways. Inexperience, a lot of experience, leadership. How would you describe your team coming back this year?
We have a good core group of seniors. We have 4 seniors this season. Well, really 3 because one of them is out with an ACL injury. But we have a good core group of seniors. They're great leaders, but we're very young everywhere else. Every other position is young, mostly sophomores, but a good group of athletes. I wouldn't say they're young. They're young in the game, but they're not young athletes. They all play competitive sports, whether it's softball or basketball, or they run track, or they play soccer. They're all used to being in a competitive travel environment where they're pushed. But as far as the volleyball goes, they're a little bit more inexperienced. But I think we're going to be okay.
Do you like their attitude? What they bring to the table for that? Or is that something that, it's a progress thing, right?
They're all very competitive. They do not like to lose. I love them. They're great. I always say we have a really great time off of the court. When we get on the court, it's a little bit frustrating. Most coaches can probably attest to that. But at the end of the day, they are competitive. They have to learn to channel it in different ways. Sometimes they get frustrated with themselves, with their teammates. But this summer, we really worked on that kind of, coming together. I think they're just competitive kids at the end of the day. Yeah.
Good. Is there one specific part of the game that you think right now is maybe a strength over something else, whether it's the service game or the front line play or whatever it may be?
This summer, we really, really, really worked on defense because I think that was something that we were lacking on last season. And I'm excited to see it in play. We made a lot of adjustments. Our kids are making great efforts on the court. So I think that that's probably our strongest, whether it's our block or everything behind the 10-foot line. I think we're really making big strides there. Defensively, I'm excited to see how it goes this season.
Very good. Very good. Finish your statement for me. Now, whatever you consider success to be, for us to be successful, for us to, when the season's over, to look back and go, that was a good season. What do you think has to happen? Nobody defines this in wins and losses. That's not the thing. Just what?
I would say just every time we leave the court, we know that we competed as hard as we could. I think a lot of times last season and the previous year, we weren't mentally tough enough to play the game. We didn't have enough experience to play the game or even know what it felt like to compete in volleyball. They know how to compete in every other sport that they play. But if we can get on the court and just compete every single time, knowing that we didn't let a ball hit the floor without making an effort, or knowing that we went up and we We tried to get a kill every time. Every time we went behind the service line, we were trying to hit the zone that our coach gave us. So just everything we're doing with the intention to win, win or lose, I'm going to be happy.
Very good. Very good. Listen, we wish you the best of luck. We know that we see good things happening in there, and we hope you have a terrific season.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I am so happy to be joined by Hannah Verdin, head volleyball coach at South Terrebonne High School. Second year, if
Yes,
I'm not
this is my
mistaken.
second year.
Did it get easier from year one to year two? I know you've always been around, but to be the head coach.
I learned a lot. It get a little easier now.
Very good. Talk about your summer and even the spring leading up to this season. Are you happy with the progress y'all have made?
The progress made this off season is quite pleasing. Athletes showed so much interest and put a lot of work in conditioning and strength, and it shows that they improved so much in their jumping and agility, which is very important in playing volleyball, and also shows advancement in fundamental skills. And beyond individual gains, teams, chemistry, and communication is really improved.
You know, some teams are very experienced. Some lost a whole bunch of seniors the year before and they're inexperienced. Some are middle ground. How would you describe your team?
Well, we lost some strong hitters, one outside hitter and the other one is the right side hitter. But we got some very talented freshmen this year and very athletic and hardworking girls.
So you're happy with the attitude of the girls? In the way
Yes.
they work. Very good, very good. What's a strength? What do you think is good? What do you think y'all do well?
I think our strength started with our seniors. And my seniors have great leadership. And we still have our two middles that are game changer, tall and very effective in blockings and very strong hitter. And my back rows is most experienced and really quick and very effective in serve receive. And the most important is our setter is experienced, and that will give some advance to our team this year.
Very good, very good. What are those things that have to get better that you look at right now and you're thinking, we're close, but that has to get better?
I think we need to improve our confidence. The girls have so much of talent and skills, but sometimes we struggle in mental. And that's what we're working on a lot.
Very good, very good. We wish y'all the best of luck this upcoming season.
Thank you so much.
It is my pleasure to be joined by Sandy Charlet, head volleyball coach, amongst a ton of other things you
Right.
do at this school. We'll get to that a little bit
Okay.
later. As the Houma Christian Lady Warriors head into this season, you happy with the way things been going so far?
I am. We started back in March in the off season, and we've been consistent with our workouts and scrimmaging. And I like everything I'm seeing. We're ready for the season to start. So
You advanced in the playoffs last year, got into the second round. I know I would think that at Houma Christian, it's not just satisfied getting into the playoffs, because you do that on a yearly basis. It's kind of advancing along the way whenever you get in the playoffs. If you had to describe your team, whether it be inexperienced, experience, I guess we're talking about the girls you lost from last year.
Yeah.
How do you describe your team this year?
a mixture of experience. So we have 4 seniors, 2 juniors, 3 sophomores, and also have 2 eighth graders that are on our starting lineup this year. We have a lot of chemistry because they have been playing together for a long time. So we have that going for us. I really thought last year we were gonna make that run to the Cajun Dome, but it's a goal again this year. You know, we want to make it to the Cajun Dome. We haven't been, so that's our goal. We do. Speaking of like off season and going into this season, every year we pick like a focus word, and this year is to be consistent. So if we could be consistent with our communication, you know, our work ethic, all of it, then we'll compete with anyone, you know.
Very good, very good. Talk about those things on the court that are your strengths. Is it a certain part of the game? Is it just the mentality of the girls?
Yeah, I think we have our defense is solid this year. You know, I have three new, I guess you could say, blockers. And so even in the off season, I think we surpassed our blocks that we've had the past 2 years.
Is that right?
So, yeah, so we are looking forward to that. And but besides that, we have our junior playmaker, Kaylee Pierce, for offense and defense. We depend on her, but she brings leadership and high energy every time she steps on the court.
And I don't mean to interrupt you. She's
yeah.
one of the Pierces, the long line of Pierce girls that have been there.
Yeah, I would tell. No.
Not related.
No, not. It's Shantae's daughter.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Okay. No, I know exactly who you're talking about.
So, and then we also have Sophie DePlanis. She's an 8th grader, but she is one to watch. She's one to watch. And our 4 seniors, we have Addison, Riley, Taylor, and Bella. And it's just a mixture of personality, mixture of ability, and they bring leadership, and it's going to be good.
So it's a good mix.
It is a good mix.
Yeah, from young to old. People describe success in different ways. Some people it's about wins and losses. Some people it's about at the end of the year when Sandy Charlotte looks back on the season, just your definition of success. What has to happen?
We definitely need to stay consistent and communicate on every play. And if we can do that, stick with our game plan, we'll make it. We'll make it to the Cajun Dome this year.
Very good. We wish you guys the best of luck.
Thank you.
It is my pleasure to be joined by Jamie Cheramie, head volleyball coach over at South Lafourche High School. A terrific year last year. Well, you girls, I wondered about this, and maybe you could clarify for me. 28 wins on the season. Do you know of a South Lafourche team that had ever won more than that?
They may not have one more, but they went one game further in the playoffs.
Is that what it was?
They did.
I always wondered about that. You still, you advanced in the playoffs. You're almost at the point now where it seems like sort of getting in the playoffs is good, but we want to make a move in the playoffs, right?
We do.
Talk about the summer. Talk about how it's been for you girls.
We've been in the gym since the end of May. In June, we did the Wellness Center program. We went to 3 or 4 team camps in July. We put a lot of time into conditioning. We've worked out a lot this summer, worked on plyometrics, a lot of jumping, just getting the girls physically ready for the season.
Talk about your growth. How's it been for you, like, over the years? Can you even compare yourself to, like, 4 years ago? Has it been a maturation process for you, too?
I've learned so much from the girls, and I learned a lot about team culture. The girls right now, they just love each other. They have such a tight bond. They play for each other. And I think that's what's made the difference in the growth in our program, that they care about each other. And together they care about winning. And I think that's a big start. And then you'll see that success on the court as well.
I had the opportunity for the team camp that y'all did in the Civic Center for CCA. I was way on one of the other courts, and obviously they're playing all over, and I look across and see y'all, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Like front line's good, serving's good and all, and I'm going, it's kind of well-rounded this year. And I don't want to throw specific names out there, but there are some girls who have matured throughout the process of playing for you. Talk about the strengths, or is it just sort of everywhere?
Well, the strength, obviously, like you said, was front row. Our hitters are so much more precise this year. They know what shot to take when. And we have some hard hitters. We have some bigger girls. This is one of the biggest teams I think I've ever seen South Lafourche have. And then our back row is working really hard. We knew from the get-go, serve, receive. Our big girls won't do us any good if we can't pass the ball first. So our back row's really stepped up, and I think that's something you'll see that's improved this year, and hopefully that'll take us to the next step.
Very good. Yeah, because I was sitting there, and I think it was Nala Lines, or one of them spiked one, and I'm like, I'm not getting on that side of the ball. So that's very good. Anything that worries you a little bit from the standpoint of that's got to get better?
I think just handling the harder games better, because I didn't schedule them easy. And I want them to handle that because I want them to understand that playoff atmosphere, and I want them to take a big win and win one of these state Lafayette Mountain teams.
Talk about that too, the scheduling part of it, because it's a situation where you sort of have to see both sides of the coin. You might have had a team 4 years ago that you couldn't schedule like this year, right?
Correct.
So you did it to where it's challenging. Any tournaments this year you really like, this is going to test us a little bit?
We are going to the Belle Chase tournament. That's a new one for us, so maybe some more New Orleans area schools. We're trying to get into the Spooktacular this year over in Lafayette. That's a huge, very competitive one. We're on the waiting list. So I've been making some phone calls and kind of putting bugs in people's ears to try to get us in that one because I'd like to see some of those big teams in Lafayette.
And finally, at the end of the year, when you look back, and you're sitting there and you're looking at everything, does Cheramie sort of define what would be a successful year? A lot of people, it's wins and losses. Is it for you more something else that the girls need to do?
For us, I think it's time for the goal to be to get to Lafayette.
Okay.
It is because the girl, I mean, I could say, oh, communication and teamwork, that's already built. That's already there. I think right now, everybody's head is Lafayette and the girls believe in themselves. They're a little more mature. They've been 2 rounds in the last 2 years and we're ready for more.
Awesome. Awesome. Best of luck this upcoming year.
Thank you.
I am happy to be joined by Craig Hamner, head volleyball coach at CCA. First of all, big congratulations. That was an awesome team camp you guys put on at the Civic Center, and I know that's not easy.
Yeah, it was very big. It was good.
Well, you know, I popped in there and to see 60 somewhat teams in there, it's good for our area, first of all, but it's also good for all of those teams, right?
It is. It's good for the community. It's more of a community event. You know, we're trying to get people to stay in our hotels, visit our city. And we get teams from all over the state, and they really enjoy it. They're ready to come back next year.
Awesome, awesome. Listen, you were at a 5A school coaching volleyball. You are at a single A coaching volleyball. Tell us the differences. For anybody out there who's going, you know, they're all the same. Is it the same?
No, not even close. You know, in Division I, you know, you got more kids to choose from. I'd have 25, 30 kids on our roster. This year we got 15 kids on our roster. And, you know, you're constantly looking at the younger grades to try to build up your program. And, you know, the competition level as a whole, because everybody in your division has smaller numbers, is not quite the same.
So you go too deep in the playoffs last year, which is awesome. Are you at the point where a goal is like, you want to get to the Cajun Dome or, you know, in the day whenever it was at the Pontchartrain Center? Is that sort of the goal? What is the goal now?
Yeah, I think this year the kids, we had these kids since they were in 8th grade. Now they're basically all sophomores, couple seniors. You know, we have a total of 16 kids. 11 of them are sophomores and 1 freshman. And they've been with us for now 2 years. So the goal is Cajun Dome this year.
Very good. What's the best thing you've seen happen this summer? What's really the positives?
I think the maturity level of the kids, you know, from their freshman to sophomore year, you're seeing a little bit, girls are standing taller, they're jumping higher, they look more confident. So, and it's a very close-knit group of kids.
Very good. So you're a coach at Terrebonne High School, and Pete Beretta is your arch rival at HL Bourgeois High School. And y'all are coaching together right now. First, how did that happen? And has it been a nice joint venture?
Well, when I first started teaching, actually, Peter and I were together at HL Bourgeois. So we've known each other. We taught together. We were in the same classes, you know, the same subjects. And he was the volleyball coach. I was the football coach. And we were together for 9 years. And when I went to Terrebonne, you know, it's a friendly rivalry. We had a great time with it. And we always said...
Was it friendly?
It really was,
Okay.
but it was competitive. And, you know, so we get in there, and I did beat him out of more than he beat me. I didn't say that, Peter, out loud. But we always said we want to get together, some little small school, private school, coach together and see what can happen.
Awesome, awesome. And I would imagine, not necessarily a mentor, but a guy you guys lean on a lot is Chip Didier, who's always there to help y'all.
Yeah, you know, Chip was there before us, and, you know, he brought us both in, actually. So, yeah, he's a big mentor to both of us.
Those things going forward in the district you play, the things you see, what is good about what you have with your team right now, whether it's front line, whether it's your defense, whatever it may be, and what has to get better?
Yeah, I think overall our athleticism has really gotten us to a level we can compete. What we don't have is size. We're not a real big team, but we're going to be very athletic. We're going to be defensive minded. We're going to be able to hit from the outsides and the pins, back row. We'll be able to serve well. We got good setters. We just don't have a lot of size.
Do you have to share a lot of the girls with other sports? And you're the first sport, so it's probably not as hard, but do you share?
We do. We have girls that play basketball. We have girls that play soccer. Like Mallory Dupre is an all-state soccer player. She's also our best volleyball player. So we have girls that do multiple sports, and we push it, because it's a small school. We tell, look, let's share. We got to find ways to these kids to help every sport.
Very good. Very good. Wish you guys best of luck this year.
Thank you.
By the way, big tournament in October, which is
October 3rd and 4th. We have 55 teams right
55.
now. Yes.
Very good. Very good. It is my pleasure to be joined by Sarah Johnson, head volleyball coach at E.D. White Catholic. Another terrific year last year. Lose to eventual state champions Haynes in the semifinals. It's funny. We're talking to all of the coaches and stuff, and there are goals. And this team's goal might be, we just want a winning season. And this team's goal, like, we just want to get in the playoffs. And this is advanced. And now it's sort of like, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it's like, well, we want to go to Lafayette or Pontchartrain Center back in the day or whatever, but we want to do more than that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
But how much pressure does that put on you?
Oh, a ton.
Does it?
Oh, it does. I feel like every practice has to be almost perfect or, so intense just to, get us to the same spot. We have to make it there every year. That's everybody's expectation for us.
But I know no matter what happens in a given year, after that last match, you sit down and you're very thankful. You're very thankful for what you do and things like that. Does it motivate you for the next year if it's not a state championship?
Oh, we talk on the bus ride home what we're doing next year. Me and my coaches sit next to each other and we're like, all right, this is what we have to do to win it next year. And that kind of has been our conversation for the past couple of years. But we start right away.
So talk about your summer leading up to going into the season, obviously right around the corner. How do you feel about this squad?
Well, we had a great summer. We took off July. A lot of my girls are playing, so they played volleyball all the way to the end of June. We started July at LSU team camp, and we kind of been cranking it ever since. And we're young, but also experienced. Like, I do have a big group of seniors. I have 7 seniors, but a lot of them really didn't play much. But I do have a good bit of starters from last year. So really looking forward to this season.
We talked to Kyle a little bit about the infrastructure of what he has going on. Do you like it? Do you, first of all, do you have hands on it like when they're 8th graders and such? Because y'all, unlike football probably, you do have the programs, the volleyball programs. And I know you girls compete in those travel type situations. But from a whole of E.D. White volleyball, is it a good system fit for what you think, or is there room for improvement?
Well, I mean, always room for improvement, but I'm very appreciative for my volleyball coach. It's Coach Lindsay in 8th grade. I actually coached her. She was part of the state championship team. So she helps build our program. I get to see them every day. Right now, we're practicing in the same gym because our main gym is getting the floors redone. So I get to see them and, kind of poke my head and give them a little encouragement every now and then. But it's wonderful that we can get those 8th graders are on campus just to get the culture fit into them at an early age.
And I'll ask this about your team this year. Do you compare them to any of your past teams?
Oh, yeah, I always compare people. But at the same time, you got to look at them individually. Everyone's going to be different. And each year they're different. They all grow differently every year. So,
what's the positives? What's really good? What's going to be your strengths this year?
We're going to have a good offense this year. I have Emery Ferret, our middle, and then my daughter Kylie. They are just going to be beasts. They've been working really hard, and when it flows, it flows. So we're going to be really good at that.
Something that to win a state championship has to maybe get a little better because you've seen the landscape and what it's about. What has to get better? Our
defense has to improve, and we have to get mentally tough. I think that's kind of what we've been missing in the past couple of years, just not pushing it to the edge. And we've been doing a lot of things at practice to help that. So hopefully we can improve. But we still have long ways to go before.
You're in the semifinals last year, but if somebody went back and just looked at your record, like they would look at your record and go, well, then they would go look at who you played.
Yes.
Did you do that again this year?
Yes, I do it on purpose every year. We have to play the tough teams. You have to. That's the only way you get better. You get points from for power rankings. From them, like you lose to a Dominican, you get all their points plus more. I get more points for losing to Dominican than I would like a team that has a terrible record. So I do it on purpose. It makes us stronger in the end and helps us just get better as a team overall.
My last question is kind of a global question. It's not necessarily about E.D. White. It's about what you know about volleyball. If you play in your gym on the campus of E.D. White, and then you go play, and I know y'all don't play there very much anymore. You go to Pontchartrain Center where it's an open arena, or you go to the Cajun Dome where it's a really open arena. Is it different?
Oh yeah, the air vents are different. The ball will travel further.
Do you guys all set up a schedule that makes sure you get in those venues? Because I know you can't get in the Cajun Dome properly.
Correct. But our back gym, it's our newer gym. It's kind of set up a little bit bigger than our main gym. So we like to go in there and set up the main court. And that's kind of how we get a little bit practice. And then we'll put some loud noise on for the audience's response. So all those things, we kind of prepare them for that week.
Awesome. We appreciate your time. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much for having me.
It is my pleasure to be joined by Brittney Wells, head volleyball coach at Central Lafourche, who actually last year a good season, over 20 wins. Something that y'all have sort of been able to maintain a little bit. You go into the playoffs, and unfortunately, as we talking to all the other volleyball coaches, we're talking Division III and Division IV, and we can't say that about you. You're always going to be in Division I.
We are.
It's tough, right?
Very competitive. Very competitive.
Is it hard to even like schedule during the year, knowing that once I get into the playoffs, it doesn't matter who I have in the first round? They're going to be like really, really good, right?
Yeah, for the most part, yes, absolutely, because we always fall that mid-range. We fall mid-range for our playoffs, which usually means the top of the top.
Yes.
So
a plus 20 win season last year. Talk about who's coming back, who's not, and what it might be like.
We're losing our big hitters this year, which is going to be way different. We had to change our philosophy for sure, and look at a more defensive standpoint rather than offensive. So I do have several juniors coming back. I have 2 seniors that were with me last year as hitters. One ended up having a concussion at the end of the season, Serenity Onestell, which unfortunately we missed her with playoffs. I think having her would have been a critical piece for especially our first round of playoffs, and might have pushed us to get there.
Yeah, that's a horrible time for that to happen.
It was tough. It was very tough. But I've got my setters returning. My defense as a whole, all of my girls were on the court last year, so we're going to be solid defensively, and I look forward to that.
So is it fair to say maybe the challenge might be up front at the line a little bit?
It will. It will be. It will be. It's going to be about how and what we do with the ball.
Very good. I did see a Vidros on there.
Yes.
Is that Pops?
That is. That's his daughter.
Well,
yes, sir. She's our setter.
Oh, very good.
Very quick, very smart. She's been working hard to move that ball around more to where we can actually have opportunities, and I look forward to it with her.
What's your summer like? Is it a lot of the girls who are off playing their different things? Is a lot of girls who are playing travel, or were you able to sort of keep them together?
We keep them together. We play through June, from June all the way through July. Pretty much a lot of my girls have more soccer background. So we split all June. Once July hits, they are all mine. So we've got to have our toes touched in different tournaments, different things that we've messed with over the season.
Debunk this theory that I'm about to say.
Yeah.
I have seen in the different sports, you mentioned soccer, and I've seen softball. Coach Lorraine had a pretty good year last year. Is there, I don't know whether it's a cycle or just a general confidence level in the girls' sports at Central?
Yeah. And look, I look at soccer mainly. These girls in our area are starting at age 4 to play soccer. Volleyball's come around. We finally have girls that are playing year round, but you have your soccer, your softball. All these girls are starting way younger than what we did. So I feel that that's promoting the sports for us in high school.
Very good. So answer this or finish the statement. And listen, this is whatever you consider to be success. It doesn't have to be wins and losses. It could be, but it doesn't have to be. At the end of this year, when Brittney Wells looks back at her volleyball team, to consider it a success, what is it? What is that?
I think at the end of the season, I don't want to look back, and I don't want the girls to say, what if? I think by all means, as far as we know, when we go into a game and we give it 100% all times, they can't question themselves and say, what if?
Awesome. Very good. Very good. Best of luck this year.
Thank you.
A huge thanks to all of those volleyball coaches. They did not have to give up that time to come in, but they did. They obviously want to promote their programs, and we're right there with them. We want to make sure that we get the word out on what they might be like and what their schedules are. You could go to each school's website or Facebook page, because they all have it now on social media, and find out exactly where those teams play. Again, they are all competing in jamborees this upcoming week. A huge thanks to all of those coaches. Want to find out more about sports? Terrebonne General is a big sponsor of Bayou Sports, obviously on social media now with Casey Gisclair. Casey's going to be back with us in the next couple of weeks, and we'll talk to him about Bayou Region sports and what's been going on. It's been a while. It's been the entire summer that we've talked to Casey, so it'll be nice to have him back in the fold there. Probably next week, but if not next week, the week after that. And listen, you can tune into HTV. HTV Sports on a weekly basis has a lot of information. So trying to get the word out there about our student athletes. We wish them all well. We hope that they are all safe after this upcoming Jamboree. And as I'm about to sign off, forgetting anything?
We're getting our first cool front post-summer, Stan. We'll be in the low 90s on Wednesday. That's what they said last night on the news.
I can tell you this. I went out to see Nichols play because obviously the Bayou region wanted to look good because Nichols was on national television on ESPN. It was hot. It was unbelievably, unbearably hot. Well, they did play at noon on a Saturday in August in South Louisiana. Not probably the smartest thing. But it was a good showing, obviously, by Nichols that day. So, yes, I would hope, like anything we could get. Low 90s, you say?
Low 90s, yeah.
Low 90s. We'll take it.
The humidity will be a little lower as well. So
just so the hurricanes stay away, too. You know, no storms. Hope we can stay away from that. Hope you enjoyed the show today. Again, we'll be back next Monday. We drop on Mondays. Actually, next Tuesday. Better refrain that just a little bit simply because it's Labor Day.
It'll be Labor Day, yes.
So a lot of you folks will be off. We'll get another edition of our Locker Room podcast out on Tuesday. Hope you have a terrific week, everybody. Take care.